Hello there and welcome to another episode of World of Tanks and Guinea Titan. We're on Sacred Valley, standard battle, and I'm in the Waffenträger Panzer IV. But not the one that I've been playing in previous videos. Because I decided to actually give in and unlock the 150cm gun in the final package. The Pak L 38 15cm gun. I was sort of re-looking at the stats. It's not as good a gun as the 12.8cm, particularly the top gun is the L61. It's not the one you get in the Borsig, it's a step up, it's an upgrade, and it's much superior. But not. You lose about 20mm in penetration, but you also lose in gun handling. The accuracy is not as good. It's better than the 15cm, what is it, L 29.5 that you get on the Borsig. Much better, but it's nowhere near as good as the 12.8cm, the final 12.8cm for the Waffenträger. But I thought I'd give it a go anyway, and I thought, right, we'll give it a go and see how it goes. And it's not too bad. I've played it for 100,000 experience, so I'm halfway now to. I have the Guerrilla 15 unlocked. I have all the packages on the Waffenträger Panzer IV unlocked. So I'm halfway to unlocking the Waffenträger E100. Now I'm spotted here, so I'm going to have to pull back. Just can't stick around. There's too many tanks with the potential to shoot at me. But the biggest problem I have found with the 15cm Pak L 38 is that it's very awkward on the tank. And it all relates to the gun depression. Essentially, because of that big long breech that you see there, it can't depress or elevate when the gun is pointing out the back of the tank, directly behind. So the gun is in the line of the tank, but pointing directly backwards. You can't elevate the gun. You can't depress the gun either. I don't know, it's probably something to do with that breech mechanism. And it is a pain. A real pain. The other thing you should note here is, you're looking at the IS-6, is that at this point, my recording live, as I was playing the game, stopped. And I'm now looking at the same scene again. That's just the death of the Tiger, and now we've switched focus to the IS-6 through the replay system. And as you can see, it's an inferior experience. And the other thing I've noticed is that there's a lot of choppiness kind of in the video when you're looking zoomed in the video footage. Like, you can see some pixelation there in the replay system that I've never I don't notice normally in the regular, what you call it, in the regular gameplay. So I'm wondering, actually, is that due to the fact that it's a highly compressed video format? They're doing some lossy video compression or something along those lines. Anyway, we've cleared the immediate threat from the front of us. So, having played quite a few games now with the 150mm gun, I have actually switched back. I mean, after this game, I decided that 100,000 experience run up, and I decided to switch back. I would personally prefer the 12.8cm Canone, whatever it is, L61, rather than this particular thing. Although if you like playing aggressively with these kind of tanks, I mean, I have a shot here because it's more or less in a straight line, and I can actually use the terrain to depress the gun. But if with a significant elevation on that shot, I would have had to turn the tank sideways. And I prefer to play this tank at range. And you just have more options if you can, say, reverse into positions, particularly reverse into cover, bring the gun to bear, fire your shots, drive out of it if you're spotted. Whereas with this particular gun, I'd have had to drive sideways into those locations and then drive out of it sideways as well. Plus, I would also be sideways when I'm hidden, so when I'm spotted, I'm exposing considerably more surface area to the enemy's gun than I would normally be found exposing if I was just showing the front to the back of the tank. On the other hand, 750 alpha damage is not to be sneezed at, so I think if you're the kind of person that plays the tank aggressively, that the gun handling is good enough, that if you play the tank aggressively and you play fairly close to the front line and you sort of rely on peekaboom, shooting when the enemy is fired, so you're in with a mob of heavy tanks or you're near a mob of heavy tanks, the heavy tanks draw the enemy fire and then you pop out and nail whoever's too late to find cover, and that's a very viable strategy, and I've tried it a bit. I can kind of get it to work with this tank, but it's not a playstyle that comes naturally to me, and but it's a combination of things. Reflexes, situational awareness is actually the biggest problem. To be aware when the enemy tanks fire, to know how to use the cameras so that you can actually see around the corners and see when the enemy tanks are firing, and to find spots where you're able to get the shots and you're not in the way of the actual heavy tanks that are doing their job in that corner, because that is one of the problems I think with that kind of playstyle, is very often the advanced locations where the heavy tanks are going are quite crowded, and driving this thing sideways or backwards out to try and get gun position onto somebody, because again the whole elevation, gun depression issue is going to be an issue for this sort of thing as well, or it can be depending on the map, or if you're in urban areas and stuff like that. Therefore, sort of adroit tank driving and adroit tank handling is fairly important for this kind of stuff, and I'm not noted for my adroit tank handling, I think. There's a reason I have the first segment in my intro is me crashing off of the keys on Windstorm, because that's the kind of thing I do quite a bit, you know. I want truth in advertising, and crashing off the keys in Windstorm is something that's very likely to happen. If I start streaming, you'll probably see a lot more of it. I'm seriously thinking of doing it. I have actually had one test session, but I must run a few more test sessions and stuff like that, and just kind of get myself a bit more organised so that I can actually structure and allocate time for these kind of tasks. Though I would encourage people, if they see me online, feel free to drop me a message, like I said, and if you're interested in platooning, I won't guarantee that I'll be available. It depends on where you are and what time of the night it is. But if it's sort of early in my local time, I should be able to arrange something, she would say. However, that's a different aside. While we're here, and despite the fact that I have a big scary gun, the T-54E1 feels confident enough to come out and kill me. He's probably fully reloaded. But the problem with the T-54E1 is that the intra clip reload time is actually quite long. I think it's in the order of 3 seconds. And it's long enough for you to die while you're sitting in front of a tank if there's anything that shoots faster, or there's more than one thing shooting back at you. So he comes out and he just kind of forgot that there are other tanks on my side, and some of them would be in a position to cover me. So he got one shot off, but he didn't manage to finish me off, and he never got his second shot off. It's a problem with that particular tank. It's got, like I said, it's not really, or shouldn't be treated as a kind of a clip tank. It just doesn't. The reload speed isn't fast enough. So there's a T10 and an M60 or Type 61 down there. And at this point, I make the mistake of forgetting about the Stradwagon S1 or whatever it is. Yes. So we get out the T10, and out of sight, out of mind. I don't pay any attention to the fact that there's still an S tank in play. So I come up here, I get spotted, and I'm a bit too casual about cover, because I think it's just a Type 61. Like I said, I forgot about the fact that there was another tank. Now, he didn't have a lot of directions to shoot me from, but he's up there beside that pavilion or gazebo or whatever it is you want to call it, and I think that's an incoming fire from the Stradwagen. Our T-38's going after... Well, he's going after the Type 61, but he lights up the Stradwagen, or somebody lights up the Stradwagen anyway, so the Conqueror that I'm following now at this point takes out the Stradwagen, and there's just the Type 61 left. So he's pushing forward. This Type 61 has taken out the T-30, because the T-30 came out, shot him, but didn't actually do a whole lot of damage. And that is the the Type 61 sorry, being taken out by our other tank destroyer. So final result. Final result is surprisingly enough to me, I was actually a bit surprised because it didn't feel like it. Because you don't get a lot of penetrations, you just do so much damage. We got a high caliber. We also got an ace tanker. Now we did over 5,000 straight damage and over 1,500 assisted damage. And we came number 1 by experience in our team with 3 kills as well. So it is a fair amount of damage when we add it up. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, please give it a like. Feel free to comment and share. If you haven't already done so, please subscribe to the channel. I will catch you all again soon. Bye for now.